What's the stance on immigration? What's the plan?
Well, personal liberty means, and libertarianism all subscribes to the view of free movement of capital, free movement of labour, and free movement of peoples. You should be able to go and claim a living wherever you think you can actually make it. The problem that we've got the pull factor of welfarism that's been in Europe for at least the last 50, 60 years. There is no point actually decrying people who actually want to move from desperately poor places to actually go and seek a better life. If they can actually sustain themselves and make a living without any recourse to the state at all, I don't think anybody, and they can contribute to society, that's fine. We're now we have actually evolved our stance. The fact that while welfare state is in place, there has to be controlled immigration. There has to be, because otherwise you're just importing more and more dependence on the state. That is unsustainable in real politics. Whatever the ideologues of extreme libertarianism, and there are those that we as a party are always actually trying to progressively persuade people we need to get to a point and carry them along with us. We don't subscribe to the fact that if somebody who's got skills that's necessary to this economy, or even if they've got skills that are better than homeborn engineers, whatever, we need to have them here to actually helping our economy. The other side of that is we should not be denuding Africa and India of much needed doctors, that they train them there and then they come here. That's dishonest. That is purely dishonest. That's actually effectively raping their future growth in their country and their social provision. The problem that we've actually got now, and this is the fault of the left, is we're now faced with mass immigration of people that are actually, and probably this is true, I'm not exactly sure, that have been told Europe is the promised land. You will get free housing, you will be looked after, you will have education. In some ways that's true. Now these people are paying vast amounts of money to people who are trafficking them across Europe, and they're not turning up in ones or twos. They're actually turning up and actually destroying their documentation at the border. And if we need to stop calling them asylum seekers. They're not asylum seekers, because if they are asylum seekers under international law, if they turn up at a border, at the first country they arrive at, which is the law, international law has been recognised for decades, with their documentation and express a wish to claim asylum for political or for any other oppression, or they're fleeing from war, that they will be accepted and they will be looked after. What we've got is thousands of people trying to storm the gates of Europe. And at the end of the day, the Balkans countries have actually started putting up fences again. We are also faced within this multitude of people that are actually coming with people who do not accept our culture, that do not accept our values. That is now becoming a major concern and is probably driving the destruction of the EU, because populist parties, and at the end of the day, let's face it, all political parties have to be populist, otherwise they can't attract votes. This is a major concern, and there's no good the left saying, oh, this problem doesn't exist, or as they have been doing for the last 15 to 20 years, anybody even tries to talk about it, shouting racist at them. It's a major problem. What the answer to this is, I don't know, but at the end of the day, we can't physically or economically or financially afford to keep on taking more and more people on terms of welfarism. It's already been seen on the pressure on our schools, on our hospitals, our medical services. Everything is under pressure. You cannot increase a population by 1 to 2 million of people who are actually making demands on state welfare without there being an effect. And cohesion is national cohesion is one of the problems that's actually going to happen.